our community, the 46th District State Representative, Kathy Schmaltz. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, great to see you, Bart. Now, did you just make up that weather forecast, or did he really know that?
I don't know, Brandon. What is it?
Well, it's supposed to be like 80 and sunny or something, I think so. 75
good.
and
No,
sunny.
it is.
That's what I tell Darren, I ask Darren and Andy, did you make that up, or did
Yeah.
you really? Yeah. I can say that because they're friends of mine. So.
That's right. Kathy used to do the news on Channel 10 with Andy Provenzano, who is the weather king.
Right.
So
And Darren.
did it rub off on you? No. It's
No.
going to be nice. It will be nice.
That's right, you put everything in your car, you know, you put winter coats and spring coats. Yeah, that's the way it works in Michigan, but that's okay. And
Yeah.
baseball is back. So exciting, isn't it?
Well, you were just at the
I
Tigers.
was at the Tiger game Saturday because they gave out a Dan Dickerson bobblehead that actually talks. So it was very cool. Great weather, great game. Came from behind. So
Did you see the remnants of the NFL draft when you were there?
yes, we did. Boy, what a great job Detroit did with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more than 700,000 people. We looked wonderful. The city is just, I don't know. It was tremendous, really tremendous to see. How exciting. We have to have more of those here. And I think after everybody saw how we handled the NFL draft, that we'll probably get more events like that. So it's great. Just
Yeah,
great.
we put on a great, friendly, smiling face
And I
for our
have to
state.
tell you, you know how they always scream Jared Goff? It happened at the Tiger game at least 5 times. So everybody screams Jared Goff, Jared. It is just, I can't imagine what he's feeling every time because people just break out of the Jared Goff chant all the time. So it's pretty cool.
And it is neat. He doesn't have to pay for a meal anywhere in Michigan.
I know.
Well, we saw you Saturday. You had a busy day before you went to the Tigers game. You were at the ORS Running Series event. I see at a lot of the community events.
Oh yeah, that's so important to get out. I was like that when I was on the air too, because I love being with people. And when you get out there and you talk to people, you find out what the community needs, what they're interested in, what problems they're having, and that's how you can help solve some of those things. So I love going to events. I was telling him, Andy was screaming at me because I was wearing platforms. He said, "How are you going to run in that?" And I said, "I could probably beat you in platforms," But yeah, I went over there, and Bob Howell does a great job with Family Service and Children's Aid, and I just love to support that group. They help so many families and kids in our area. So it's important to me to get out and see the people at all these events and talk to everybody involved. I love that.
Yeah, it's nice to see you there. Well, it's budget season in Lansing, and it sounds like there are some areas of difference between the governor and even Democrats in
Yeah.
the State House.
Yes, so all the appropriations committees are meeting right now. Budget is on the minds of everybody. They're trying to get that done really quick, by the beginning of summer, so we'll see what happens. Everybody's arguing about everything, which is pretty normal in Lansing. But one thing that came up was the tipping fees, and I heard from many of our landfill owners here about that, because the governor's proposal was to raise the 36 cents a ton of putting waste in a landfill to $5 a ton. That's a tremendous increase. And of course, that increase would be passed on to people, including school districts. And a study by the Chamber said it would cost school districts probably $300,000 if we did something like that. And of course, I don't think they're taking into consideration if landfill owners do recycling and what percentage they do of that. So there was a lot of problems with that, but in the House version, the tipping fee is now gone, that increase. So we'll see what happens with that. But that was a big issue.
That's the fee that a landfill owner can collect?
A fee that it costs them when they put waste in a landfill.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was 36 cents a ton, but they wanted to move it way up to $5 a ton, which is a tremendous increase.
Well, there were so many times over the years where the cost of dumping was either too low or too high. People were either importing or exporting garbage to Canada or Ohio.
Right.
Would that have an effect on?
Well, that's why we wanted to talk about more charging people from out of state than charging people in state. So that was one of the issues. But again, the House version, we have taken that out right now, so we'll see what happens during the appropriations process, what goes on.
All right. A few things that you've been working on. One is Road to Restoration.
Well, yeah, Road to Restoration is something 3 years ago, they passed a clean slate driving record, where if you had a suspended license or a restricted license, they set up clinics around the state where you could go meet with people from the Secretary of State's office in different areas and figure out how to get your license back. and take the exam. And these are just, we're talking about traffic fines, court fines that you didn't pay. We're not talking about DUIs or substance abuse violations. Those you'd have to go to an administrative hearing and figure out the next step. But for people, and they expanded this to the prison. So I was at Parnell Correctional Facility last week. And they have the Secretary of State people in there and where you can take the exams. And they're helping these prisoners who are getting out get their license back, because a big problem when they get out, they get a job, but then they don't have transportation to get to the job.
Something you don't really think about, I
Right,
guess.
right. And so we want them to be on a path to success and to, help make their life go forward in a good way. And giving them transportation to do this is one way to do that. So, and it was crowded over there watching everybody trying to get their license back. A lot of officials there helping with everyone. So that's a good program, Road to Restoration.
Yeah, I suppose it's one of the several handicaps that someone leaving the correction system has that you don't think about.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things you find out that you think, this wasn't taken care of? Why wasn't this taken care of before?
Yeah, well,
and you say, well, we need to do something to help move this along.
Well, even if driving's not an issue, just having a driver license, you need that to get a job. I would imagine.
Right. Well, I'm sure you can get a state ID card,
Yeah.
but it's important for them to have transportation. That's a big thing.
Well, we see a lot of things bubbling up about the elections later this year, and Peter Meyer
Just
said
dropped
he's
out, yeah.
dropped out of the race for to replace Debbie Stabenow. Is that a surprise to you?
No. I probably expect Mike Rogers to be the Republican nominee and Slotkin to be the Democratic. I think that's what it will boil down to. So that should be an interesting race. I'm from news. I loved election nights. I hate them now, but I loved election nights where you could just watch what was going on, and of course doing all the exit polling and all that. It was always very interesting and exciting.
Well, it's bound to be a very interesting year.
Yeah.
And there are some ballot proposals, petitions being circulated around. One is about eliminating property tax.
Yes.
And we've seen some state officials and even legislators, school board presidents and superintendents sound the alarm that would be fatal to a lot of things like parks, libraries, school districts.
Right, there are issues with that. It's something that I'm still reading about, but there's, when you take away money from one area, you got to find it in another area. So that's something that we're looking at. Another ballot proposal, they're talking about Citizens for Local Choice. As you know, I am on the Energy Committee, and the Public Service Commission has now taken control because of this bill, that they can put solar and wind projects in any area. And locals, I said, so locals don't have a say, and they said they have a say but not a veto. I said, exactly. So you can make the final decision. And I said, what makes you think you know what's better in a local district than the people who live there? And that's when they said, well, they have a say. So that's a big issue, and locals want to take their control back in that area, and that's a big ballot proposal that we could see on in November.
So as it is now, like it just happened in Grass Lake, the community said, well, we don't have zoning for this, the neighbors don't want it, and the company eventually said, okay, we're out.
Right.
But if they choose not to say we're out, then
The Public Service Commission can decide. And I think there needs to be more of a give and take. I'm a real proponent of local control, because I think communities know what they want in their district, and they should have the final say. So that's important to me.
you've been holding office hours on a monthly basis here in Jackson and in Chelsea. And I think you do this every month?
Every month, yeah. It's been great. I mean, the last one I had here in Jackson, I had, it was filled with kids and homeschooler parents, and they all came in and they were so sweet and nice, and we talked about homeschool issues and different things they're facing, and they were just wonderful. They just came in to talk and say hi. And Chelsea, I always get a big group of people, and we have Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, and we all sit down and we talk about different issues. And I've always told everybody, if you see a vote on a bill and you don't understand it, ask me. I will let you know, because maybe there's something in there that you don't know about. And that's the reason that I voted a certain way. So, and of course, it's an election year, so you're going to be hearing all these different things. This is what I hate about politics, because I'm not really a politician, and I just want to get there and get through my foster care bill and my veterans bill and things like that to help especially our most vulnerable people. So I don't look forward to election years, because I'm not into all that political stuff.
All right, well, we appreciate the updates. Thanks for coming in
Of
today.
course, anytime. We see each other all the time anyway.
Everywhere Kathy is, I'm there, and if she's not, you are, and we'll see you at the next thing.
I know. Well, that's been going on for what, 30 years, 40 years?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Our 46th District State Representative, Kathy Schmaltz.
Thanks, Bart.
Thanks, Kathy. Up next,